Hey everybody, good morning. Catherine here. I'm super excited because I'm getting ready to head out on my very first solo backpacking adventure. It's going to be an overnighter and it is October 20th. So it's probably about the last good weekend for fall color. I noticed here on the way that it's starting to peak out, so I'm hoping we get some fall color on the way. I'm here at the Parker Lake Trailhead right off of the June Lake Loop. There's a number of reasons why I chose this trail as my first solo backpacking adventure, and I'll tell you about those a little bit later. The climb for this hike starts pretty much right out of the gate. It's not a very big climb. It's I think a little under 700 feet in elevation gain. And then it's pretty level after that. I've reached the Ansel Adams Wilderness Area. In my opinion, one of the most beautiful wilderness areas in the Sierra. So that's one reason why I chose this trail. I spotted a super sweet campsite just down the hill, right next to the creek, fire pit, everything. Really, really sweet. Only problem is it's really not far at all from the trailhead, so I feel like it's too close. Now, if I camp by the lake, I cannot have a fire. Here, I could have a fire, so depending on what I find by the lake, if I can't find anything good, I may come back here. I mean, that spot was awesome, so we'll see. It's gonna be, the 20s tonight. Be nice to have a fire. Actually, I think we have most of the climb done already. Whew, I gotta stop and take this thing off. This is a Patagonia thermal weight zip up, and it is hot. I'm imagining it's about 55 degrees right now. It was 20 when I woke up this morning, so it felt good this morning, but in the sun with this pack on, it's getting pretty toasty. That's better. So normally I would not wear a cotton tee on a hike, but I'm by myself, so generally you don't want to wear cotton because it does not wick moisture and you tend to stink a little more when you wear cotton. And it's an overnight trip, and like I said, by myself, so I'm not worried about smelling out here all on my own, so I thought it was okay. It's looking like these aspen just about seen their day. Lots of leaves have fallen off already, but I'm glad there's still some color. Another reason I chose this trail is it was recommended as a great hike for fall color. And I'm really thankful it's still here. It's just hanging on. I think probably by next week it's going to be gone. So I'm really glad that I got here this weekend. Almost to the lake. I think I just heard the sound of a bald eagle. That'd be really awesome if I got to see one. They are up here. Looks like this is going to be home for the night. I'm going to put my tent right here in between all these trees. I'll feel safe kind of in this little cubby. I just have this opening right here. And I don't think any of these trees are widowmakers. They all look like they're live trees. And I don't expect too much wind, but you never know what can happen out here. So far it looks like I'm the only one camping. I haven't seen any other campers here. I may be out here alone. One thing I've noticed is I think I'm under a flight pattern because there have been a lot of planes flying over. And there are some noisy ducks. You hear that? So much for peace and quiet, but I don't mind because this is their home. And the lake is right here, along with some quacky, noisy ducks. That is really weird. The elastic inside the poles has lost its elasticity. So I actually had to just shove it in there. I barely used this tent this season. I've only used it on, this is my 3rd trip out of 8 trips. I was sharing a tent with somebody most of the summer, and it's perplexing. I don't know if these poles can be ordered separately, but I think I'm going to need some new tent poles. Has that ever happened to any of you? Really bizarre. Okay, I've got my tent set up. I have not put my sleeping pad or sleeping bag or anything in there yet. I think it's time for a lunch break. I'm starving and it's getting a little chilly in the shade, so I'm gonna sit in the sun and enjoy some lunch. My tummies are rumbling. So this is what's on the menu for lunch. Of course, I'm not going to eat all of it, but we have a beef stick, we have a Cliff Bar, Kind Bar, Baby Bell, and Smokehouse almonds. And I don't think I'm in the mood for this beef stick, so it's probably going to be some almonds, a Baby Bell, and a Cliff Bar. Got a pretty epic view for lunch. Lots of lunch friends in the form of ducks. Okay, she always comes up to me and she's always about ready to get out of the water and come right up to me. And then as soon as I get the camera out, she moves away. This is some of what I got going on to make sure I stay warm tonight. I've got my Patagonia puffy. I've got a North Face fleece. I've got my Sherpa wool hat, which is actually really warm. I have these socks, as well as the socks I have on if I need to wear those. And I just picked this up. It's a Thermolite sleeping bag liner. And it actually says or claims to add 14 degrees of warmth to your sleeping bag. And I have 2 pair of long johns, 1 long john shirt, and I have these quarter zip that I'm wearing now, and the t-shirt I have underneath if I need to wear that. So even though I have a Big Agnes Roxanne 15 sleeping bag and a Thermarest Neo Air X Therm Max sleeping pad, which has an R value of 5.7, I wanted to take these extra precautions because I did take a trip on Labor Day of last year, Labor Day weekend, with my niece Christine, and it got down to the 20s and we were not really prepared, and it pretty much sucked, to be honest with you. So I did want to make sure. I'm a very cold sleeper, and even in weather that's warmer than what it will be tonight, I get cold. So that's why I bought the sleeping bag liner. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work out, and just took all these precautions to stay warm. I also have some gloves, which I didn't put out here, and hand warmers. And if I need to, I can go ahead and put water in my Nalgene, boiled water in my Nalgene, and put that in my sleeping bag, which I have done before, and that really does work. And I have to have my Sea to Summit ultralight trusty pillow. I love this thing. Weighs like nothing. So I mentioned that there were several different reasons why I chose this spot. Before I go acting like a complete badass, just so you know, this hike is only about 2 miles in. That was one of the reasons, actually. I wanted to pick a spot for my first solo trip that it would not be difficult for me to get out of here if I needed to, or if anybody needed to come in here and rescue me, that it wouldn't be difficult for them to get in here. I wanted to do this as a confidence booster because next season I have some big plans in store. It's not anything that I really want to divulge right now, but I do have big plans, and it will probably mean that I will be doing a lot more solo backpacking, or at least some more solo backpacking. So I just wanted to boost my confidence and just prove to myself that I can come out here and be out here alone and be okay with it. Boy, I have a noisy duck that just will not stop. It is cracking me up. I don't feel alone out here because I've got Mr. Duck, or Mrs. Duck. It's a female. Just chiming in over there. She's hilarious. And the fish are jumping out here too. Here? Oh my gosh, it's awesome. The other reasons that I mentioned were the fall color, and unfortunately there wasn't as much as I was hoping, but there was still fall color here, so that was incredible. And I didn't have a lot of time, unfortunately. I mean, I would have loved to have done a bigger trip because so many permits are available right now during the shoulder season, and I probably could have done any hike that I wanted. And again, for my first solo trip, I think keeping it to one night is good. Time. I'm getting dinner going. I've got some tortellini, some Parmesan, some olive oil. I really like just simple pasta like that. I like sauces too, but simple pastas are a-okay with me as well. Some of you may wonder if I have any sort of a tracking safety device, and I do. I bring the Spot. There is a newer version which has two-way messaging. I actually want to get that one. This one, you just have a predetermined message. There's an SOS, there's an OK message just to let your family know you're okay. But it's really better than nothing, and I do feel better having it out here. If I press the SOS, then rescue teams can find my GPS coordinates and come get me. I'm doing good so far. I'm really doing good. I actually really enjoy being out here by myself. It's very peaceful, and you know, hike at my own pace, take as many photos as I want, stop and shoot as many scenes as I want, just sit and look at all the beauty as long as I want. It's just really been awesome. Now, I wasn't really worried about being out here during the day. It was more the evening that I was worried about, so we'll see how that goes. I think I'll be okay. this is a great experience for me, and I have a feeling as of tomorrow I'll wish that I had more nights out here. But, you know, I have a whole future in front of me where I can spend multiple nights if I want to alone, and with company if I'd like to as well. So I'm actually going to pour the tortellini back into the little baggie I brought it in before I put the olive oil and Parmesan, so that I don't have to wash my pot or it won't get so dirty. Nature. Well guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night. This trip has been huge for me, and as long as I make it through the night, I'll call it a success. Oh, one of the other reasons I actually chose this spot as well is because, oh, another fish jumping, is because it is at about 8,300 feet. So I thought that because it's been getting very cold at night, that I'd be a little bit warmer around 8,300 feet. My original trip that I was supposed to do a couple weekends ago was above 10,000 feet. So I figured this might be a better bet. It's going to be cold no matter what, but like I said, I'm prepared, so I should be nice and cozy and warm in my tent, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night. Good morning, Mr. Owl. Good morning. I see a deer back there. I made it through the night. Yay! I woke up a couple of times, or a couple noises that spooked me a little bit, got my heart rate going, but for the most part I was fine. I didn't sleep real well, but I was warm. I slept, I didn't put the puffy on, I slept with the fleece on, and this morning I wound up putting on my gloves with some hand warmers because it did get chilly this morning. You know, it's funny hearing that owl, because when I did my very first solo camping trip, car camping trip in the Alabama hills, I heard an owl in the night, and then here this morning I heard another owl. And I've been out in the wilderness a lot, and I don't always hear owls. In fact, those are the only 2 times I've heard them in the night. So I'm going to say that owl is my spirit animal. I think one of the things that prepped me for doing a solo trip is that I did 2 trips in grizzly country over the summer, and I'm going to tell you, once you backpack in grizzly country, it is so wild out there that this really seems tame in comparison. I mean, we do have black bear out here, we have, you know, cougars, there are dangers, but to me this seems so tame compared to that. So that really gave me the courage to get out here on my own. So I'm really glad I came out here. I'm a little concerned about the poles on my tent. I'm not sure what to do about that. If anybody has any suggestions or had any experience with that, let me know. And I'm curious to know too if you prefer solo backpacking or backpacking with a group. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just make myself some coffee and just have a kind bar for breakfast and actually pack up and head out. It's been a really awesome trip, and I look forward to doing more solo backpacking in the future. One last look at this gorgeous place. I wished I wasn't leaving. myself cruising down the trail smiling and proud of myself. Solo mission accomplished. Motel 6 in Mammoth doesn't provide coffee service. I bring my own. Thank you for this adorable mug, Stacy Middleton.